my gosh, you guys, this is so many chips. Good morning, everyone. Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is a fun day today because I have a big pile of wood chips that I get to spread around my property today. So I signed up for chipdrop.com. I think it's getchipdrop.com. I've heard actually from a number of you that it worked really well. I signed up about 2 weeks ago, and then I got a phone call saying that they had 45 cubic yards of almond tree wood chips, and would I like it? And I said, absolutely yes, because how fun is it that my wood chips are going to be almond trees, which we have a ton of right there. Can you see that? We have a ton of around here, and I just think it is so appropriate. It is quite the dreary day. It's going to be raining on and off, and then there's also a wind advisory today, gusts up to 55 miles per hour. I'm a little worried about the greenhouse. I'm going to be watching it closely. It's all bolted down. It should be totally fine. But you know, when it says wind advisory, it's kind of nerve-wracking. So we will be watching that. In the meantime, I have my toy back to play with. This one's actually a little bit different. It actually seems maybe a little bit bigger than the other one that I had a couple months ago. I don't remember when that was. This is just to be able to spread out all of the wood chips that are everywhere. So we're going to pile it in all the different gardens, and then I have the guys here today, and they're going to help me kind of spread it. So honestly, I don't know if we're going to get done today, but at least we can make a pretty big dent in this 45 cubic yard wood chip pile. Guys are here. I've lost my toy for a couple hours at least, but they're gonna start spreading everything. This place is gonna look so good. I'm so excited. All right, everyone, it is a couple days later from what you just saw, the guys spreading all the mulch. They did such a good job. I had imagined that was going to take a couple days, maybe 2 days with 3 guys working all day long and me and Jason helping out. It only took them, granted, they are the hardest workers I've ever seen. It only took them like 5 hours or something. It was incredible. They did it so incredibly fast, and I'm sure having the skid steer made it super fast as well. So they got it all spread, but you're never going to believe this. We're out of mulch. 45 cubic yards, that giant pile over there, and we need more. We need double, if not triple that amount. I've already contacted Chipdrop to see if they could bring me the same almond tree chips. I think I'm asking for too much, which is going to be such a bummer, but it's just incredible how much mulch this area takes. It's absolutely incredible. And this right here is why I never could have afforded to purchase regular mulch, and Chipdrop, at least in my situation, is the way to go. Okay, so you can kind of see where I am. I'm over here on the north side, or the long border, and it looks so much better. Oh my goodness, it looks so much better. It's so funny because the almond tree lost all its blooms. We've, of course, had rain and wind. It's not supposed to rain today, but it certainly feels like it. And it dropped all its petals as soon as we spread everything around. So that's okay. It'll look fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but look at how good this looks. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Okay, then coming over here. So here is what I'll call my willow tree garden bed with the willow tree in it. The willow tree is looking good. It's breaking dormancy. It's just so flimsy. It is the flimsiest tree. I'm having a hard time staking it appropriately. I need to... It's like if I put too much pressure on one way, then it'll completely fall over that way. So I'm kind of working on it. It's still pliable enough that I don't have to worry about it. But you can see, oh, isn't that pretty? I love it. So exciting. And then you can see over here, what I meant to show you all is the mulch. Look how good that looks. I love it. I love it so much. So I do need to clean up. We need to clean up and all that kind of stuff. But truthfully, I was hoping I would get another Chipdrop sooner rather than later. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about it. I wanted to show you all my Mantilla hot poppies. I have 1, 2 right there. If you look at this one, it's just kind of looking okay. It's definitely not dead, and it does have some fresh growth and a weed. Get that real quick. Okay, much better. So it does have some fresh growth right here that's looking pretty good. But if you compare that one to this one, Oh man, look at how happy this one is. Holy moly. So this one is definitely taking. The other one, I don't know. You can see there are sticks here in the chip drop mulch, and you know, that is okay. I'm totally fine with that. Beggars can't be choosers. It would have cost me so much money to buy premium mulch for this area. I mean, 45 cubic yards, and that's not even close to enough. So I will take the sticks. I will be okay with it, and I will be happy. So you can see over here my deodar cedar. That's looking really, really good. I'm happy with it. These are my Sunny Boulevard St. John's worts. They are just coming out of dormancy. Let's see, I can see that one. I don't see any leaves on this one. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You can kind of see it. Here, let me show you a picture of what they're gonna look like. Isn't that pretty? They do really, really well here in this area. And then you can see over here, ooh, I have a lot of fun stuff. I have Helen von Stein Lambsir that's starting to get some new fresh growth, which is very exciting. I have my back and black sedum right there. And then this right here is Serendipity allium that I am kind of trialing out right now because it does say it's only hardy to zone 8. So we'll see how it does with our heat and everything. It's obviously come through the winter totally fine. I don't know how much chill hours, but we have so many alliums around here. I feel like these are going to do fine. So we're going to watch these, but they're coming up with some nice green growth. They look really good. I'm excited. Okay, and then coming over here, without showing you all everything, because this is not a garden tour, you can kind of see where we stopped. Yes, I have some tulips. They look so good. But this is where we stopped over here. This is where they stopped. They couldn't go much further than that. It is what it is. I told them to stop there because I really wanted them to cover the center island because that's what really needed some mulch cover. Otherwise, it would have been just a mess all season long. So they did their best. The guys spread it as much as they can, but you can see how much more we need. Oh my gosh. It's just crazy. It's so big. I had imagined that huge pile right there was going to cover everything up here and then also everything in the backyard again. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. So this was my first experience with chipdrop, getchipdrop.com. Again, that's how I signed up for it. And I have to say, I'm pretty happy with it. It was a good experience. You know, I could have just gotten lucky because I know that there have been people that say they weren't as happy, but I was really, really happy with the experience. And, you know, it's free wood chips. They're nice wood chips and they were delivered to my house for free, which is awesome. I do have people that have asked me like, how do you know there's not termites in those wood chips, or how do you know there's not disease in those wood chips? And I don't know. I guess I'm trusting the arborist that called and we had a conversation and he told me where the chips were from and why they were cutting down the trees, the almond trees and all that kind of stuff. So I had a conversation with them and I felt pretty confident. When you sign up and you put in all your information, I know you can write, call me first, you know, and you can say what type of chips you're willing to take and what type of chips you're not willing to take. So just put the information in and then hopefully you have an arborist that feels confident in the quality of their chips. So I think it's a really great thing. I am definitely going to be using it more because I am shocked with how much mulch my garden is taking. So I will be trying to get it free as much as I possibly can. Okay, so you all can probably see my pile of decomposed granite still covered with a tarp. That is because it has still been raining. I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me say that, but it's true. But the 10-day forecast shows no rain, which I do not believe because look at these clouds. And it feels like rain too. So we'll see what happens, but the pathways are not going to get done yet. We have to wait for everything to dry out. What is it? We have to wait for everything to dry out. At least we were smart and that was recommendations from you all to cover it with a tarp so at least the pile would stay dry. So thank you for that. So this is not going to get done and this is not going to get done until we get another thing of chip drop, another delivery, but you all can kind of see where we're going with this. Very warm, very California, very golden, more golden, right, bud? What'd you find? A weed? Great. Anyway, well, I still have some time left. I actually have a lot of time today, so I'm not totally sure what I'll get to. But now that this whole garden bed is mulched, I can see that I definitely need to cut it back. This is the first garden bed that I planted up in the orchard, and everything's looking really good. I have some Beyond Pinked Caryopteris right here that I just need to cut back right to the level of the new foliage. I have my denim and laced Russian sage that I'm going to cut back to about 6 inches. You be careful. You be careful with that. You be careful. Gentle. Gentle. Good boy. This is Nyphophia. This is actually the orange blaze version. I think I said it was the hot and cold version in my Proven Winners video the other day, but it's actually the orange blaze version. This, like normally this time of year you would cut Nyphophia back. I think because these are so new, I just planted them in the fall, I'll come and cut back the bloom stalks, but then otherwise I think I'm just going to leave them up because I don't think it needs it. They're just so young. What does need a cut back? Oh, watch out, buddy. Are you eating my tulips? No, you're not. Oh my goodness. It's so fun having a puppy, huh? Okay, so what does need a cut back is my cat's pajamas Nepeta. So I'll come in here, I'll weed a little bit, and then I'll just come and cut it right down to the new growth. We are past our last frost. Oh my gosh, I always get that mixed up. We're past our last frost, and so we're not really at risk. The lows are basically like in the 40s, so we're gonna be fine. So I don't need to have anything in here to protect it anymore. I'm just ready for some new growth. So the other thing that I would cut back, but I really don't need to, is the Chiclet Orange Esperanza right here. Here's one right here. I feel like you can barely see it. And then there's another one right there. That one's not looking so hot. I'm not totally sure what's going on. So with these, the Esperanza or Tacoma, you can cut them back like in the late winter, early spring, especially if there's some old woody growth. I guess there's a little bit right here. You can see that. You can cut that back. But these plants are so new. I feel like I don't have to do anything with them this year. Everything's just so new. They're such babies. I did want to show you. Look at that. Oh, these are going to be so beautiful when they're covered with blooms. So I do need to go around and I do need to fertilize. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do one big, massive fertilizing day. That's my plan. So I'm planning to do that later on this week. So right now I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to kind of do some late winter cleanup. My friends are out. I haven't seen them in so long. Hello? What are you doing? Hi. Hello. What are you doing? Hi. Look like rain. It's just sprinkling, barely sprinkling, but I thought it was rain. Okay, so I got that whole area cleaned up. Looks really, really good, and it feels really, really good to be outside. I want to give you all a sneak peek of my tulips. I'm trying not to show you all until they're all up, but they're just looking so good. Aren't they gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous. And do you all remember when I threw in a couple random red ones? Well, they came up and they look good. So I have 3 stock tanks. They're all coming up. There's some really pretty apricot ones that are coming up really easily, or quickly, I should say. And over here, I love it. So I would say a couple days, and these are gonna be all filled with tulips, and they look gorgeous. I just realized I told you all how worried I was about my greenhouse and the wind the other day, and I never followed up. So obviously it's totally fine. Came through, no big deal. We didn't get up to 55-mile-per-hour winds, at least I don't think. I think we got up to like 40-mile-per-hour winds, which is still a lot. Look, I have cute. Oh, very exciting. And it came through totally fine. I kept looking out the window, checking it just to make sure it was okay. And it was totally fine. What wasn't fine was over here, my porte-à-tour that I made a couple years ago. It fell over and the top came off. And I'm not totally sure how I'm going to fix it. I'll try. I'm sure I can fix it. No big deal. I did want to show you all one more thing. I did get around to planting my Gertrude Jekyll rose. It looks good. I went back. I didn't see any toads. I think they buried themselves even further. I was reading about it and they bury themselves like for hibernation. So I think that that's what they're doing. So they're probably in that hole and probably fine. So Gertrude Jekyll is planted and I think she's going to be happy there. And just a quick note, because every time I talk about my Gertrude Jekyll rose, I get a couple well-meaning comments letting me know that I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I'm actually not pronouncing it wrong. It is pronounced Gertrude Jekyll. The gardener pronounces it Gertrude Jekyll. I know this because I did a whole bunch of research on it just to make sure I didn't mess it up. And the Gertrude Jekyll Museum pronounces it the way that I'm saying. And apparently it is like the old English pronunciation of the name as opposed to Jekyll and Hyde, which is the new kind of more modern Hollywood pronunciation, where I guess a lot more people can pronounce it Jekyll than Jekyll. So it's a very interesting story. You should look it up. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.